Gharar means uncertainty or to cheat or delude. Islam requires Muslims to avoid transactions based on gharar because these transactions are uncertain or ambiguous. Not everyone involved knows what to expect and can make an informed decision. Gharar can exist in these situations when two parties enter a contract and one party lacks complete information. For example, a party purposely withholds some information in order to wield greater control over the transaction. When both parties lack control over the underlying transaction, they enter the contract aware that they don't have complete information because of the nature of the transaction itself. Here is an example of the first situation. Mrs. Jones wants to buy a house and Mrs. Smith wants to sell her a house. If Mrs. Smith doesn't disclose complete information about the house she is selling, such as the fact that it flooded a few years ago or that it has foundation damage, Mrs. John can't make a fully informed decision. If the two parties enter a contract without complete disclosure being made, the contract is based on Gharar and therefore prohibited under Sharia law. Likewise, the first situation may exist if two parties enter a contract for the sale and purchase of an item that hasn't yet been constructed, such as a new home, unless the buyer and seller set out all the specifics in the contract, including the date on which the product will be complete. Gharar comes into play, and the buyer may not ultimately receive exactly what he expected. Here is an example of the second situation in which Gharar exists. Two parties enter a contract related to the sale of fish that haven't been yet caught. Both parties lack control over the transaction because outside forces such as weather or overfishing may prevent the delivery of all the fish expected per the contract. The underlying issue with the transaction that involve Gharar is injustice. When uncertainty exists, the transaction can easily become unjust to one or both the parties.